What's up, everybody? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Merseyside preview. This is a massive game, folks, and I think it's actually coming at the right time for us. Sometimes when you're not going through a great vein of form, a derby or a game against United or something comes up and it just helps lift the morale. We got a good win against Leipzig away in the Champions League, and now all eyes will go to Anfield, 5:30pm kickoff on Saturday against the Toffees. And look, we're all dying for it. It could be a cracking game, this one. Both sides, a little bit of a mixed bag, but both sides with at least top four ambitions this season, particularly from our side. That should be the minimum requirement from a Liverpool perspective. From an Everton perspective, obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin looks like he could be back for the game, haven't been out for a while. I think Alan could be back for them as well, and we've seen Jordan Pickford back from a rib injury. He took part in Everton's game the other day as well, and that loss to Manchester City. Weirdly, I felt like we were going to have a short turnaround, but then I remember when Everton played Manchester City on Wednesday last night and they lost that game. I'm recording this, full disclosure, on Thursday, so just as I record this, there is breaking news coming out that ALISSON and Caoimhín Kelleher have both not been pictured in training. So much for us to get through, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I will give you my predicted 11, my score predictions as well. But before I get to all of that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Boyle Sports, without whom we wouldn't be able to be here making this content. And earlier on today, I caught up with Leon from Boyle Sports to have a little chat around the game. As always, let's cut to that right now. What's up, everybody? It's my favourite time of the week. I get to chat with Leon from our sponsor, Boyle Sports. And look, mate, this is a massive game coming up at the weekend. The derby against the Evertonians. Both of us pushing for top four. What are you thinking?
Yeah, look, and at least we're going into it, Craig, on the back of a win in Europe, which was much needed. I mean, the relief I felt on Tuesday night after beating Leipzig, and a good performance at that. And, you know, the boss had said it's not as if we haven't been playing well. We haven't been even creating some chances we had, but the results just weren't going for us. The Leicester game, we played well up to a point, and then we imploded. But I thought against Leipzig, the two guys took their goals exceptionally well. And this is a derby, and I think we needed to be going into it off the back of a victory. Everton, they're coming in off the back of 2 defeats. They were terrible against Fulham. They never really raised a leg in a game they would have expected to win. So they're 2 games in hand. They haven't gained any points. And now Liverpool are 3 ahead, having played 1 more game. But if we beat Everton on Saturday, it puts us 6 clear. So I think we need to win it for our top 4. We need to get a Premier League victory. It's been too long since we've had one. Our last win was away against West Ham. I think the Everton game, we are capable of winning it. We are due a bit of luck in the derby compared to what happened at Goodison Park for a whole host of reasons. Injuries, VAR, we could go on and go on and go on. But Liverpool will have to be patient. Everton are going to make it nice and tight, Craig. And I think Calvert-Lewin will be back. He's a big plus for them. He's very agile. We've got to watch him. He's brilliant in the air. And that's an area where I'm very concerned about, because with him, we don't have the height of Van Dijk, the height of Gomez. And we even saw when he pulled off onto Andy Robertson to score that equaliser in the derby, we saw how good he can be. So he's a threat, and we've got to be careful.
Yeah, look, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has a leap like I've not seen. He's unbelievable, the height that he can generate. And he's a very good player, gone to a really good season under Carlo Ancelotti, who, let's be frank about this, is you can't but respect the man and what he's achieved in his career. They've got themselves a very good manager. You did say that we are coming off a very good performance in Europe, Leon, and then Everton lost to Manchester City. So I'm going into this game fully optimistic. I think the lads will be looking forward to it, if anything, because you know you're going to be up for it. I've done my score prediction, which is going to be revealed a little bit later on in the video, but I want to get your take on it. I want to get your tip, but I also want to let the guys know that you've got our favourite offer back on again for this one.
Yeah, look, it's a great offer, isn't it, Craig? And it's €10 or £10, and no lose, risk-free offer. Place it on the match, and if it doesn't win, you'll get your tenner back as a free bet. Look, Liverpool are overwhelming favourites. If I'm being honest, I think they're a little bit too short just in the outright betting because of our home form. And if this was a full house at Anfield, it was a derby at 5:30 kicking off on Saturday night, us having come back off a fantastic away victory in the Champions League, I'd fully expect us to win this home match. but we're not. Anfield is going to be empty again, and we've got to try and get some home form. It's going to be very important for us if we want to get in to the top four, which we ultimately, that's our goal this year in the Premier League, is to finish in the Champions League spot. I think we're going to win. I think you've got to be looking at Mo Salah. I mean, what the guy is doing at the moment, he's just smashing it off the charts. The records that this guy will leave when he finally does leave Liverpool Football Club, hopefully in a couple of years' time. I want him to stay with Liverpool for the foreseeable future. His stats are unbelievable, Craig. He's the best back player to score first. But I'm just going to go with a Liverpool win, and I think Bobby Firmino to score at any time. I just like the way Bobby is just starting to click into a bit of gear. We all saw his magic to set up Mo at Leicester. He was denied. Some people have said the ball wasn't fully out. Some people have said it was out, but it's irrelevant. He was in the right spot to finish, and he scored. Okay, it wasn't given, but it still breeds confidence. So for me, I hope Bobby gets on the score sheet on Saturday. I think Liverpool will win, probably 2-1. But just for my tip and for my bet, I'm keeping it a little bit simpler. I'm just going to go Liverpool to win and Bobby to score at any time, 23-10. But I do like that 2-1 scoreline. I do see a goal in Everton. They scored against City. When Calvert-Lewin plays, he gives them that aerial threat. But I just hope Liverpool can keep an eye on him. And maybe it's Kabak was excellent in the Champions League. This is another huge game for the young kid coming into a Merseyside derby. And probably for him, probably better that there's not the crowd of nearly 53,000. Probably better that he can listen to what Jordan Henderson is telling him if Fabinho is not fit. And Henderson, you can hear him when you watch a match. He's constantly talking. And I'm sure having him beside Kabak can only be a positive. But if Fabinho is back, Craig, I'd love to see Jordan push in and just protect the back two. Because even when he's there, he'll still be talking to both his centre halves.
I love it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. As I've been saying all week, get me Rambo, get me Rocky, get me all the films, mate. I am raring and ready to go for this one. Look, it's always a pleasure, Leo, when we catch up, and we're just about to go now and have a little chat with Ian Brewster and do a live show. But really appreciate both the support of Boyle Sports and, of course, yourself for giving up the time to come on and chat about the Reds. And, you know, here's hoping the next time we speak, we're off the back of a good derby victory, Leo.
Absolutely, Craig, and a home win at Anfield, because it is a fortress, and I've no doubt once we get our loyal Red fans back, it'll continue to be a fortress.
What myself and Leon had to say. You've heard Leon's tips ahead of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Now we get to my part where I give you my predicted 11 and my score predictions for the game. Let's start with the score prediction as first, which I always do. I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win to the Reds. I feel like at Anfield we have Everton's number. I don't know how long it's been off the top of my head since they last won a game in the league at Anfield, but it's quite a while. I think it's fair to say it's quite a while. But they're also a decent side. I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to slate Everton. They've got some good players, and James Rodriguez, I do admire the way their midfield sets up as well at times. I think that they've got themselves a very tidy footballer from Barcelona that they brought into their midfield, whose name of course escapes me at this moment in time. Andre Gomes, of course, Craig, it's Andre Gomes. But Pickford I'm not a fan of, and not because I want to slag him off, and I just don't think he's a top level goalkeeper. I think we're getting into a good vein of form, as I said. We're starting to get a few players back. Fabinho might or might not make the bench. Keita is coming closer to fitness. Diogo Jota is not 100 miles away either, so we are starting to get those players back that we've been missing for a while. Now obviously we don't have the big man Verge, we don't have we don't have Gomez, we don't have Matip, but we do have Ozan Kabak, we do have Ben Davies, and we do now have centre-back options, which we haven't had for a while. So with that in mind, I had to think about the predicted 11, and this is what I've come up with, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know if you agree or disagree about the predicted 11. So here we go. So as you can see, I've gone for ALISSON in goal. Now I know that there are stories and rumours going around as I record this, just came out before I recorded it, that Kelleher and ALISSON weren't pictured in training. If they aren't, then obviously you'd imagine it'll be Adrian, but let's work off the assumption that he's okay. So ALISSON in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, Robbo at left back, Ozan Kabak and Jordan Henderson at the heart of that defence. Now, obviously I want to caveat this by saying the sooner the better Fabinho gets back and we can move Henderson back into midfield, but I think we're basically going to see the same 11 that started the game in Hungary against Leipzig. So a midfield of Jones, Wijnaldum and Thiago, and then up front, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah. I mean, if it's working, why change it? I mean, it worked again against over in Budapest against Leipzig. I thought we put in a thoroughly good European performance, what you would expect from Liverpool in Europe. But, Leipzig were no mugs, and we were going into this game wondering would we show up, what Liverpool would show up. We didn't get the results we wanted in recent weeks. We capitulated against Manchester City. We capitulated against Leicester. But, we showed that we still have character, we still have quality throughout this side. And if you can't get yourself up for a Merseyside derby, ladies and gentlemen, then I don't know what game you will get up for. So I fully believe these players are going to be raring to go, as will the Everton players on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. I love the kick-off time, by the way. I think it gives us all a chance. Nobody wants to be bleary-eyed getting up watching this game at 12:30. It deserves a prime time showing, and 5:30 on a Saturday is absolutely perfect for me. So, as I said, I'm going for a 2-0 win for the Reds. I think we've got Everton's number, and I don't want to mention revenge or anything like that, but the lads won't have forgotten what happened earlier on in the season, and the lads will want to at least get the 3 points that we feel we were probably a little bit harshly done by because of that very late offside decision, obviously, when we thought we'd won the derby against Everton at Goodison. So with that in mind, I've gone for a 2-0 win. You've heard what Leon's had to say, you've heard what I've had to say. Now, of course, it's over to you guys. Let me know your thoughts of my predicted 11 and my score prediction. Again, I will go through as many of the comments as I can. And again, just a heads up, this is being recorded just as that little news came out that ALISSON and Kelleher weren't pictured in training. That's all I know at the moment, is they weren't pictured in training. So until I get further information or clarification, I cannot rule them out of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my preview. Thank you for tuning in. I will hope to see you guys on Saturday. We'll be starting our coverage at probably about 5:30 kickoff, 4:15. I'd say Jack Gill will probably be live till about 10 to 5 or so. Then I'll come on at 5 o'clock. We'll start the watch along, take you right through with a post-match show as well. Massive shout out to our sponsors, Boiled Sports. Thank you to Leon for his tips earlier on as well. And don't forget, we'll also have a charity bet ready to go for the game on Saturday. Up the Reds, folks. This is going to be massive, and I cannot wait.